Today we're here with Carlos Perdomo, international chess master, 4 times state champion, and winner of many matches against grandmasters and other chess players, including myself. Carlos, thank you for being here, and I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you, Mario, for the invitation, and congratulations on this great podcast. This is a great idea, initiative, and I wish you the best.
Thank you very much, man. Today, we had this discussion for some days now, and we wanted to present the ultimate hack for the education system. I know you not only believe in chess, but you've been playing this game for as long as I known you, which is more than 20 years, and I know that even before then. And then you not only been a player, but you also have been a coach, a teacher, and raised many medals and trophies on this game. Um, Tell me a little bit about chess, and more than chess, what is an international chess master?
Well, yes, as you said before, I started learning when I was 7.5. I'm also originally from Colombia, and my father taught me when I was a kid. I learned basically when he was playing his friend, and I learned when I was, 7.5. It took me like basically 6 months after losing many times to be able to beat him. So chess is a great game. I would recommend it a lot for kids, especially, and also for older adults. The kids' benefits are for education. For older adults, the benefits could be preventing Alzheimer. That's wonderful. Uh, and so why is chess great? Well, first, I've been teaching, coaching chess in the Atlanta area for more than 20 years. And so I have a lot of, you know, former students who basically play the game when they were kids, and they
Okay.
made it all the way to high school playing. Some of them, like the ones who practice, and they made it to great
But
college,
they haven't
universities.
made it to international masters, right? What is to be like? Because I know it's important. People are questioning. I mean, how is Carlos a great coach or a great professor in chess? What is an international master?
Okay, so I would say, you know, I've been teaching, coaching in Atlanta, maybe around more than 10,000 kids. Um, and, at the schools, group classes, um, and a few, I would say maybe 100 of them. I used to teach a lot of private lessons, small group lessons, and only one of them passed my level. Um, he he started when he was 5. I taught him from 5 till 8, and he made it to international master. And his rating actually passed. His peak rating is better than mine. He's got maybe chances to be a grandmaster. I don't know if he's still pursuing that. Just to it's not a like to make it to that level is it requires a lot of practice. So it's basically like a professional, let's say, tennis player,
Yeah,
right?
I was doing a little bit of research, and when I look at your rank and everything like that, I did some math, and it's like if you go to a soccer game, and there's 100,000 people assisting that game, only around 20 people will play at your level. So that's a very, like, to put it in perspective, how difficult that could be. And you don't have to do the math. You probably already did 200 different combinations of numbers to see if you can get
Well,
to the number. But it's like, if you are among the 1,500 best players in the world, and there's 7 billion people, that's how I got to those numbers. And I know there's a very difficult thing. But one of the most important things about this podcast is I know that we don't encourage people to all of them be international masters. We want to see what do you think are the characteristics or the skills that kids can develop from a young age, like at 7 years old? So let's talk from the ages of 7 to 9. What do you think are good, not only tactics and techniques, but good things that they can do to improve his skills, and what skills can they improve?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's why I was saying, out of 10,000 kids that I have taught, only one of them passed my level. Eh, and but I'm hoping that all of them got some benefits out of it. And what are those benefits? Well, first, concentration, especially nowadays. A lot of kids they have attention deficit disorder, so concentration is really important. Also, thinking about the consequences of their actions, right? Thinking ahead. Um, it helps them with improving math as well too. Um,
I know that you named something, or you mentioned something about test scores. You mentioned that all the kids that you sort of taught chess to had better scores than the majority of the people.
well, the test scores, I guess, those has been some studies about it. Um, I don't know if all my students they got better test scores,
I know that you have.
but yeah, like basically, it's an exercise for your mind, right? So chess helps your mind. Um, Everything you want to be good at it requires a lot of practice, and so the practice of chess it will help them, to improve at the school. One of the reasons I remember one of the parents talking about this. So when their kids were going to a chess tournament and they have to sit down and play a game for like 2, 3, 4 hours, little kids. So then they're ready when they go to high school to take the SAT exams, right?
Okay, okay.
So
So the time that it takes for the game or waiting on the game, it helps them to concentrate on those long format tests.
exactly, that's one of the reasons
Okay.
it could help.
That's fantastic. So then let's move into the move and the positions. Okay, I know that this is something that I appreciate tremendously is that you have one move, but based on that move, you may have five moves. Let's put it that way. We have five moves. Okay, you got one play, so you have five different options. But then from those five different options, you can be 200 positions. What's the difference, and how is the related to actual real life?
Yeah, eh, I mean, in that sense, chess is a complex game, right? Because, like you said, sometimes, I mean, five is, sometimes you have five, let's say, good moves, right? But usually you get many, many more options, and you always need to find, try to find the best. Now, uh, that's why I recommend people like especially parents, before teaching their kids chess, they should play Connect Four because Connect Four you only got 7 options, right? And it's a game that I call it easy chess. We use it like as a way to help the kids to understand chess.
What is that game? Can you explain that game a little bit more?
Connect Four.
Uh huh.
In Spanish is Línea Cuatro.
Hmm. So I'm not familiar with the game, and I'm pretty sure that many of the people that are watching the podcast are not familiar with the game, and I love it because I could teach my kids using the game.
Yeah, it's a great. I love that game. For me, chess is like a sport. It's not really a game. So Connect Four is my favorite game. Let's put it that way. Now, it's a pretty simple game. You just need to connect 4 dots in a row,
Okay.
and you can do it, vertically, horizontally, diagonally. And so the strategy is to prevent your opponent to connect 4, and then you need to try to connect 4.
Okay.
And it's a
Fantastic.
wonderful game. Um,
And that
and it's
stars like developing tactics, a strategy. Oh, one of the things that I have, and obviously in business and in other projects, I can always see the end result before I do my roadmap. Before I start developing all the things that I need to develop a project, I can see like the final, the end result. But here, any time and every time that I have played chess, I have never seen how it's going to sort of end. You know that you're gonna start it, but I can imagine how many different options there are for the end of the game.
Yeah, chess is, is that's why it's a very complex game. It's almost an infinite game. Like, white at the beginning have up to 20 possibilities, and then black has also 20 different options. So if we count the first move for both of them, could be 400 different options right there. 400
Wow.
different positions
Just for one move.
in the first move for both, right? So, and it goes exponentially.
After
So,
that one.
so that's why chess helps you to use logical thinking, right? You gotta see um, what's going on, and based on your knowledge, try to find the best move. And um, it's like life. Sometimes you don't know exactly how it's gonna end, but you need to try to, make the best move.
Well, you know what?
Um,
I'm thinking, I'm looking at this board like you are, and then we're like coming out with these great things about the game. And I see it's like I'm creating an attack, but then I'm creating a defense. But then I have to move, E2 or whatever. So then I'm also using math and counting how many different options I have. So it's like a combination of both my right, my left brain, and all these different parts of my mind and my brain. I like the idea, which I know somehow that has to help kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good exercise for your brain. It's other things that are wonderful for kids, music, um, you know, I mean, games in general for kids are a great tool. And chess is a wonderful tool. Also, you can teach history, many history lessons through chess.
Okay, let's go from, because I know that you mentioned fast chess, slow chess. We're going to slow chess, and I think that is most people think, parents and kids and teachers and educators, that it is a slow game and you're going to be playing for 20 hours one match. Okay, not with you, but in the regular of the general public. But you mentioned something about speed chess and then bleed. So I want you to explain to me what the difference is between a slow and fast chess.
Yeah, actually, now that you can play easily chess online, there are like ways that you just make one move per day. So before the internet, there was correspondence chess. So how do you play that? Well, you send a letter, and then the other person gets the letter with the move, and they reply the move, and But imagine those games could take years.
They're still
Um,
playing one from the 1900s.
and many maybe didn't, like they got lost in the mail, so so never ended. Now, thanks to the new technologies, online you can actually play one move per day, I think, or yeah, maybe it's even 3 moves per day. So I don't really play any of those games, but a lot of people they love to play games like that. Now, when um, when you go to an actual tournament, over the board tournament, there are different time controls. Um, Normally, the most common one, I would say, for adults, right now, it's like 90 minutes plus 30 seconds, let's say, per move. So a game could last 3, 4, 5 hours. And speed chess is very, very common online, and that's the one I practice that online, and there are different time controls, crazy ones. For instance, there is one that is only 15 seconds per the whole game. So you get 15 seconds, your opponent gets 15 seconds, and you gotta finish in 30 seconds. I mean, if you don't finish in 15 seconds, then you lose the game.
But
Um,
I'm thinking the life and many decisions in life are like that. Mostly for kids. Kids have to make really decisions on the fly, and many times they have to use intuition. And I'm thinking that the game is also helping kids and adults with their intuition and the use of it. So every time we talk about the game and everything that you say, and then I realize, oh my God, this is another special thing about chess. I keep looking at it and I can find more good qualities than moves. And I know that there are billions of moves in this game. That's fantastic, man. And then I know that educating kids in the game is no an easy task, but it's a task that you've been doing it for more than 20 years. So can you tell us a little bit how do you recommend for kids or anybody to learn the game? How should they start and where?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think it has to be fun, right? Especially for kids. If it's not fun, they're not gonna like it. So you gotta make it fun. And so what we do at the schools, at the classes, we teach them, but it's still they, for instance, one way to start is instead of playing with all the pieces, you just play with pawns. So we call it the pawn football, American football, or pawn game. So the first one to move a pawn to the other side is like a touchdown, and then you win the game. And another way to do it is like the queen against the pawns. So if the queen captures all the pawns, then the the one who is playing with the queen wins. If the pawns capture the queen, then the pawns win. If a pawn goes all the way to the other side and the queen cannot capture that pawn,
I
then
think that
the pawns win.
education, the teaching kids how to, have small wins all the time definitely improves the entertainment of the game. And I think most games are like that. They have like a small wins, and then at the end you have a big win. And then I think chess is a fantastic representation of that, and is a great way to teach. Is that yes, when you take an opponent's piece, then you have a small win, but then at the end, if you win the game, then you have a humongous win. That's not even counting tournaments. So I'm thinking that tournaments will give a lot of great teachings to students, educators, and parents in general. Um, yeah, we talked about already about patience, the ability to make decisions. Then let's talk a little bit about if I make a decision that is weak, because it's important for kids and for everybody to understand that there's not always a winning game. As an international master, as a grandmaster, even the best player in the world has made a move that is not a, a strong move. It's a weak move. So let's talk about that. Losing is a difficult thing for many people, and and after that, I have a great conversation. But let's just start with that one. What about when you lose, and what is a weak move?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the great things, that everybody can benefit from chess. Is that basically you're going to lose all the time. Also, if you want to improve, if you want to get better, you have to lose many times. Like there's no other way. Like you will never see a chess master that have not lost thousands of games, and that's the only way to improve and get better. So it teaches that if we wanna get better at something, we gotta practice a lot. We gotta challenge ourselves, because nothing is easy if you wanna have good results. So it's a wonderful way for kids to learn how to lose.
Should you always like be really disappointed if you make a move that is weak?
Well, it depends, right? Um, Sometimes, like if I'm playing a game, I'm a retired chess player. I don't really play um, like much anymore. But when I was in competitions, like if I play and my opponent plays better and I just get outplay, that's fine. Um, you know,
So
that's
also has to be with your, the mood that you're in that day, sort of whether or not you're sick or not sick. So there's
yeah, and
also all these variables.
Yeah, and also, I made it to an international master. That's the second highest title in chess. Like you said, I have beaten grandmasters as well too, but I have probably lost more games against grandmasters than the ones that I have beat. So if I'm playing a grandmaster and let's say he's playing white and he just plays a really good game, and I might just lose, and there is not that, I mean, he just outplayed me, right? It's not that I make a big mistakes. It's just like he knows more, he understands the game more.
What is a
Um,
good strategy then? Because so how do you prepare in life for a game like that? So let's say you're gonna play a fantastic game, and I know that you play some great games in Russia and many other countries. But then when you are going to prepare for a game, how do you? Because obviously in a sport we go practice a little bit in the court or whatever. On this one, do you also do a lot of games and then study a lot of other games that have passed?
yes. So to make it to a level like a master level, you have to study the game a lot. And how do you study the game? You can go and analyze games from the top players in the world, like the classic game from the old masters. And then, so chess has three different phases. You got the opening, you got the middle game, you got the end game, right? So you gotta like understand the different strategies in each of them. And then, so you make it to a certain level that you gotta actually memorize some of the moves at the beginning of the game. It's called the opening. So you memorize openings. So how do you prepare for a competition? You gotta go and analyze your opponent's game. You go and study your opponent.
Just like
You,
soccer.
yeah, you need to like know what they play, and then you prepare for that. So it's a lot of work, and that's why I stopped playing many years ago because um, I didn't make it to the, like, to make a good living in chess, you gotta make it, top 20 in the world, top 100, but you gotta,
It's
it's
similar to tennis and other sports too.
exactly.
But let's now moving away from the game because I know you love it. I love it too. But let's focus back on the kids. Okay, so let's talk about school clubs. Let's talk about summer camps. Let's talk about all these beginning classes and all these things that I think we should recommend the parents and the educators to encourage kids to participate, and not only kids, but kids, adolescents, and all the way into adulthood. But what do you think about those, the clubs that are in the schools and then the summer camps?
Yeah, I mean, after school classes, that's what we do in Atlanta, and it's a wonderful activity for the kids. Um, Ideally, chess could be part of the curriculum, for the school curriculum. I think that's some countries that are doing that, Armenia, and I think recently Spain also. Hopefully, one day here in the U.S. or Colombia, um, could be part of the curriculum. Now, um, so we do the after-school classes, and then the summer camps as well. So I love the summer camps because chess requires a lot of practice. So the kids that go 1 hour a week to a chess class, and if they don't practice at home, they go back the next week, and most of the things that they learn, they're gonna forget, and
Okay.
it's a really slow pace of learning. So you know, as a chess teacher, as a coach, my main job is to motivate them to practice, right? Inspire them so they like it, and then they go home and they want to practice,
But
and that's how they get better.
you were telling me something that I like too. That is like in a summer camp, you have a little bit of a physical activity combined with a mental activity. And I'm thinking that when you press on those two, you get a better retention, and then you also get, better at the whole thing. So I think the summer camp does have a great opportunity for kids to learn the game while playing an activity of by doing that. I like that. Uh, the conversation that I know we're taking a little bit longer. We can finish after these two questions, but um, I know computers, okay, have won many chess matches, and we talked about the first computer that win against Grandmaster, which is Deep Blue, and we talked about how computers play 200,000 different moves or
No, 200
positions.
million moves per second. They
Yeah.
analyzed.
So yeah, like I said,
Positions per second, I guess.
go ahead and tell me the story because I know the story is interesting, and I probably don't know it as much as you do. So go ahead.
Well, first, about the summer camps. Yeah, the summer camps. I mean, we teach kids from all different levels. I mean, sometimes we get kids that are just learning the game. Your kids went to a summer camp a few years ago, so it's not for kids that are really into chess. So it has to be fun. Also, I mean, I love to exercise, and I mean, the kids they love to run, and it has to be one of the activities. Even though sometimes the kids love the game, and they just want to stay playing chess. I mean, staying inside playing chess the whole time. But we try to encourage them to also go and run, exercise, go to the playground, and so then they can also concentrate more as well too. Now, going back to the computers, yeah. Well, right now, your phone can have a chess program that is better than the world champion and the best players in the world. So, and the reason is, the advance in the new technologies, the computers, the phone, our smartphones are smarter than us. So, and that's the reason why we cannot really compete with computers anymore. And that's a problem. Has been a problem sometimes, because there are some cases that people go to tournaments, and there are some prizes involved, and if you don't have the honesty, and you try just to win at all costs, then you can easily use
Play a match in the phone or something.
yeah, you can actually cheat. So, when you go to tournaments and there is like prizes involved, they have they not allow you to
Like
have your
restriction
phone.
on technology and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, and that's another thing. I know that a artificial intelligence has shown to be superhumans. You know, what I mean, like most of the stuff that are created on that are not not only scary, but they they are going or they're here to change the world. So going back to chess, Carlos, what can you tell those parents, those educators, um, about the game that will entice them to go ahead and sign up and practice the game?
Yeah. Well, we are extremely happy now. This past August, our classes are basically at record numbers. The pandemic was really difficult because
It's over, man.
like
That's good. It's
um,
over.
yeah, but August 2020 we had zero classes in person, right? And then so it got then chess got really popular, especially here in the U.S. After during the pandemic, for different reasons. Well, first, I guess people in general didn't know, but like I've been attending national tournaments here in the U.S. Sometimes, like you go to Orlando, 2,000 kids playing. You go to Nashville, Tennessee, at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel. It's
A
the
huge,
biggest
huge hotel. Yeah.
Have you been there?
Oh, I've been there. Yeah, with the little lake and stuff. It's beautiful, man.
I mean, you just get into the hotel. You don't have to go outside. You can get lost. I mean, it's an amazing hotel. they had a record number, like 5,600 chess players, kids. Well, kids from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. And imagine that plus parents, plus coaches. So it was a lot of kids playing. And so I guess the reason why chess got mainstream during the pandemic is because all those kids that I've been teaching, and not only me, but thousands of other chess coaches in the U.S., chess teachers in the U.S., um, when when things the pandemic happened, well, they went back and do something that they enjoy as kids, because basically before we taught a lot of elementary kids. Then they got into middle school, and chess was not cool. It was only for nerds. And now that changed a lot also recently. Chess, then we got the Queen's Gambit that I don't recommend for the kids, but that helped to, for normal people.
Yeah, no,
just
it creates an awareness for the parents to say, okay,
Exactly.
and it's what
But
I'm trying
even
to do
though,
the same thing here. Is trying to create that awareness of, hey, you know what, for kids, for teachers, and for parents, this game can really improve many, many things on your kids, and is why I call it a hack. I call it a hack for an educational system that is falling short of the expectations and that we're having today. So I really think that all kids should be encouraged to play. Anybody that has played in the past also should be playing, either with their kids or with other friends and family, because as you mentioned earlier, um, it also can help you to develop your mind or your brain at a later age. Can you go ahead and tell me a little bit about that one? I know that you, for Alzheimer's and other.
yeah, it's proven that you gotta keep your mind working to prevent Alzheimer, right? So, I mean, doing puzzles, doing crosswords, learning a new language. Even for adults, older adults, learning a new language, it helps your brain to function. So, and chess is one of the, one of the good things that people can do. Now, at the same time, I recommend a balance, right? Not just go and play chess all the time. That will be um, not beneficial. That could be too much.
Okay. Yeah, and we can finish with that one because I know that you mentioned once, you know what, Mario, playing chess is great, but you have to know when to stop too. So that's also telling me, okay, to all the kids out there, to all the educators, to all the parents, nor you or your kids have to ever become grandmasters. If they don't, then it is okay. I know for a fact that they can use the skills for many other things in life. What do you think about a good time to stop?
Exactly. Well, I recommend, especially for kids to play a lot in elementary school. You know, then they can continue in middle school, high school. But it gets middle school, high school. They get more um, activities, and they have more homework and other things that are really important to learn as well too. But if they can continue all the way until high school, now some of them they wants to pursue. Um, my my dream is that chess will get scholarships in college and universities,
Okay.
as the other sports like tennis or soccer, like here in the U.S. and especially here in the U.S. because that's where we get more
I know you.
competition.
I know you did
So
coach at
exactly.
a
So
cool
if
school
they
team,
all the schools, like here, for instance, I used to coach at Emory
Emory
University,
University.
or Georgia Tech, UGA. If they have done competition, right? But it's not like a serious program. So my dream will be to have those schools giving scholarships for the ones who qualify and they have certain level of chess, so they get so then the parents can see and the kids can see a benefit of keep playing all the way until high school, because yeah, now, if a kid make it to grandmaster, and kids make it to a certain level, they that they can make a good living playing chess, but it's still super competitive, super difficult. But if you can get into a good school,
That's enough.
and exactly, and then still compete and just play for fun and try your best, like like
And
all
keep
the
it up
tennis
until you're
players.
older for the Alzheimer's and
Exactly.
all the brain problems.
So yeah, it's not really necessary to to be a master, an expert, but I think it's important to just get the benefits. A lot of billionaires play chess.
Good,
Like
good, good.
Elon Musk used to play chess. In I guess I've seen a picture of him in a middle school chess club.
Okay, okay.
Bill Gates made it to a decent level as well too.
What is the
Um,
best first move that you have made on a tournament?
the best first move
Uh huh.
or the worst first move?
No,
Because the
just make the
best, I mean,
best. Okay, so make a good one.
well, like I said before, we got 20 different options. I would say that there are 4 or 5 that are considered like good. So a good way to start the game is you gotta control the center because your pieces are more active at the center. So playing the king pawn, this is called e4. That's a really good move. d4, and this is like the queen's gambit for the ones who to watch that show. And so those two, this one, moving the knight, moving this pawn. This is called the English opening, and I would say this one as well too. So they're like, yeah.
Plenty
Now,
of good moves.
if you make a move like this or like this, moving a side pawn, it's not considered the best. But even sometimes, like top grandmasters
Start a game like that.
start the game like that just for fun, and then just to crush you after, like.
Okay. Hey, thank you very much, man. And then I guess for all your kids, educators, and parents out there, the best move is to start playing chess early and for a while. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Carlos. Thank you very much, man.
No, thank you, Mario. It was great. Yeah, and the good thing about chess now is online. You can get many things. Like on YouTube. Also, the website chess.com, Lee Chess, great websites where you can play
And
opponents
learn.
from any different countries, and many learning tools as well too.
Thank you very much, man.